All right, so now we're going to do our second draft read of this, and we are going to annotate. So I'm going to ask you again, just like we did our Witch and Wizard, that whatever I end up doing on here for annotations, I'm going to ask for you to do the same. If you want to add your own annotations, that's also fine, but whatever I write, I want you to write. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just read it again. I'm going to do some thinking out loud and just kind of show you what I'm doing. All right, rose and fell in quick succession. Turn this thing off and don't open it until both Lauren and I come home. I slammed the laptop closed and hurled it across the room. It smashed against a wall and fell to the floor. Okay, so anger. There's a lot of angry, frustrated, mad. And there's just all sorts of things happening here. I'm not really sure why. But the fact that we're slamming things and we're hurling things and we're smashing things, that's a really big thing. And then my question is, why so mad? Okay. All right, Matt, Mom's voice burst out in surprise and shock. I snatched up one of Dad's heavy dress shoes off the floor by the bed, stood up, and chucked it at the computer with a roaring scream. So I'm going to stop here for a second. So again, this kind of gets back to this whole, it's being chucked, it's being hurled, like all these things are happening. Really mad. This is that's, okay. So again, this all kind of goes back to here, all of these things. And I also think, because we did this with the other annotation, these are also very negatively connotated words. So I'm going to go ahead and put my NEG for negative. Okay, with a roaring scream. The shoe hit the wall and left a black mark on the cream wallpaper. Maybe the mate would hit the computer. So something, see, this is interesting too. So there's a computer, I don't know. There's a computer and there's a laptop. Is it both things? No, he threw the laptop. Slammed the laptop closed and hurled it. So he threw the laptop. Does it have to do with technology? I don't know. Okay. And this right here, I'm just going to go to this part where it says the shoe hit the wall and left a black mark on the cream wallpaper. That to me comes off that it's a white piece of paper. So, or not white piece of paper, like a white wall. So let's just say this is the wall. And he threw this shoe at the wall and it left a mark. So it's a dark mark because it says a black mark on the cream wallpaper. So that gives me a visual of like this is what I'm envisioning in my head. Okay. Stop it. Mom stood next to me, her hands tugging my arm. She wasn't strong enough to hold me back, and the second shoe went even further off target. So I'm going to stop there for a second. And Matt is this kid's name. Okay, so I'm guessing Matt seems to be bigger than his mom. So I'm guessing he's like an older teenager, maybe. And the only reason I say that is because her hands were tugging my arm. She wasn't strong enough to hold me back. So this to me is telling me that he is an older teenager. That's just my guess because and the mom's probably a little bit smaller. Okay. And the second shoe went even farther off target, smashing into an assortment of perfume bottles on a small vanity table. Here's this word again, smashing and smash. Where did it go? Oh, I guess it's not. Maybe it's not. Never mind. Oh, no, it's right there. Smashed. So smashed and smashing. I thought I saw that word. I'm going to come across over here. This is repetitive. Oh. Okay. And it's negatively connotated. Okay. Into an assortment of perfume bottles on a small vanity table. The mix of strong, flowery, and spicy aromas stung my nose. I searched the floor for another pair of shoes, even though I knew that breaking stuff was stupid. Okay, so he knows he's in the wrong. So it really is just this frustration that's coming through. He knows it's stupid what he's doing, but he's just so overly frustrated that he's just continues to keep going. All right, so my parents would just run out and buy a new laptop and restock the perfume bottles. Go ahead, Mom and Dad. Rack up the account. Don't worry about the limit. You've got one more kid to sell off. Okay, so this part here, when it gets into, I'm just going to put brackets here, but when you see italics like that, this is the character, which is Matt right now. Matt, and this is what he is thinking. Okay, so italics means the character is thinking that. So when I read this, though, so that's what he's thinking, and I'm saying it like in an annoyed voice. I feel like he's annoyed with this just because of the things that are saying and the fact that he's mad. So go ahead, Mom and Dad, rack up the account. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to question what that is. I'm not for sure. Don't worry about the limit. Again, that kind of goes with the whole question mark. You've got one more kid to sell off. Really confused. I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to go over here. Confused. What? It's just my question to myself because I'm not 100% what's going on. Okay. Abby's soft whimpers finally got through to me. I don't know who Abby is, but soft whimpers. So she's crying. She's sad. Maybe scared. I mean, I would be scared if I saw someone trying to throw things and yelling, especially at my parents, if I was also there. I had dropped the shoe I'd grabbed from the closet and turned to her. She huddled in a tight ball behind a couple of the pillows on the bed, the tips of her fingers in her mouth. It's okay, Abby, I said. I'm sorry. All right, so this again, like in a tight ball, tips of fingers in her mouth. When I see that, that comes down to this whole scared and sad portion again. So I see that. Again, I would be scared too. I would be crying and going, why are you doing this? Stop yelling. And then the fact that he kind of came down and said, it's okay, Abby, I said, I'm sorry. I wonder if this is like his younger sister, maybe. So younger sister. Not sure, but I feel like that would be what an older sibling would say to a younger sibling if that were the case. So, all right, well, that is our annotations for this, and then we're going to go ahead and do the next thing, and these annotations will help us. Awesome.